I believe all of us were destined for greatness. Entrepreneur is the person that's not afraid to wake up every day unemployed, because that's in essence what you're doing. As an entrepreneur, you're someone who has vision. You want to go out and make things different in life. You want to advance society forward. That's an entrepreneur spirit. Either you have it or you don't. The reason why I'm so passionate about the network marketing industry is because it's a place for people to develop skill sets. It's a place to take the underdog and align them with the right product or business and being surrounded by the right people. And these people that are out there building this village that they're building within a business structure allows these people to also realize that they can mirror that into a community. You know, it's really about taking these kids. See, when you talk about education, I talk about education. You know, we got listeners that are gnashing their teeth a little bit about education. Look, it's not about education. Education is there to develop skill sets, right? And it's all part of it. Maybe you're working a job because, you know, you need to make some money along the way. As long as it's part of the bigger picture, getting the information out to the children that are in these neighborhoods and all of that, it's about raising somebody up out of that neighborhood. It's going to take those kind of people. Yes, will there be a sacrifice? Did Martin Luther King get shot in his cause? Absolutely. Will that happen? Yes. But they're being shot anyway. Getting the information out today in our day and age where social media allows that and programs like this is allowing us to get out there and to plant our flag and to create a cause that's in the right direction and getting back to the morality that this nation was built on. Let's start with that. It reminds me of a story that I heard a long time ago, and hopefully the audience will be able to understand this story. But it impacted me. It's a very simple story, but it impacted me. It really made a point. The story goes that it's a beautiful summer evening. A gentleman's taking a walk down his neighborhood. It's an older neighborhood where the porch is on the front of the houses, and you got to step up to the porch and all of that. And the trees, you can hear the wind blowing through the trees, and he's just taking a beautiful stroll. And off in the distance, he's hearing this dog howling. And he just keeps hearing the dog howling. And as he's taking a walk, it gets louder and louder and louder. Sure enough, he gets to the house where the dog is howling, and it's laying on the top step. And it's just moaning. And this guy's sitting in his chair, and he's whittling a piece of wood. He's got the corncob pipe in his mouth kind of stuff. And the guy is just curious. The dog just keeps moaning. He goes, I couldn't help but hear your dog moaning. He goes, why is he moaning? And the guy responds with a little bit of an accent, goes, well, he's lying on a nail. He goes, well, why doesn't the dog get up? Well, it hurts him enough to make him moan, but not enough for him to get up. And the parallel of that story is, as I travel around the country and I talk to people, there's people that moan, but they're not uncomfortable enough to get up. And no matter what we do statistically, right, if we look at the national average, we take 100 people, and this is research time and time and time again, over many years of research, it typically works out one person's retired totally wealthy. 4 are going to be able to live on their retirement very well. And the other 95 out of 100 are going to be dependent on family, friends, and the federal government. You know, we think about the people that are going through, playing football in the backyards, and the dream is to be in the NFL. Not everybody gets in the NFL. We think about the kids who are playing in the basements and the garages out there, want to be a rock star one day. Not everybody becomes the rock star. When we think about those things, it really comes down to the person I'm talking to. You know who you are. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. There's other people that have been given more and have done less with it. You're taking that knowledge and you're applying it, not just reading it. Because applying knowledge is power, not just book knowledge. If I gave everybody a book on how to swim that's listening in on this, right? How to swim, we can all agree you don't know anything about swimming until you jump in the water. And people say, well, what is all that about? It's about the whole process. See, if we can take these households and these young guys coming up and girls coming up through that and realize that it's okay to have children raised by their parents. And for the most part, the financial plans and strategies that we have in place allows these people, instead of the typical couple at work where they're not around for their children, they're teaching their children to do the same for their children, their grandchildren. But the trap really comes into, when we look at that, most people are going to take 30 years to pay off one house. I believe in teaching people strategy to where they'll have 5 homes free and clear and the primary residence free and clear, right, in 25 years, and have a net worth of $1 million and an annual residual income of $100,000, living totally debt-free for the rest of their lives. What would people do with that freedom? They'd be out in ministry. They'd be out there for the people that don't have that lifestyle. They'd be in the streets of Chicago helping those innocent kids that are being shot because the gang members are saying the only way to become a true gang member is to go shoot innocent children. That's how we fix those things. The reason why they're not being fixed is everybody's too busy chasing the dollar. They're too busy trying to maintain the lifestyle when they need to be out there in the streets helping people and raising people up through example. If I give somebody a loaf of bread in the streets, right, I just created welfare. They're going to look at me for that loaf of bread, and they might even say that loaf of bread wasn't that great, and all of a sudden there's an entitlement mentality. We could raise one person out of those streets and show them how wealth has gone, where they've gone from humble beginnings to wealth, and now they're getting back to the community. What happens when that starts growing exponentially and starts duplicating? Now we fix what? We fix the home. And from the home, we fix the neighborhood. From the neighborhood, we fix the city. From the city, we fix the state. From the state, we fix the country. From the country, we fix the planet. The Mother Teresa's and all of that we hear about, and all the people that are out there serving in a big way. Martin Luther King, incredible individual, right? What was it all about? Robert Kennedy, all of these people, was all about serving the people. That's what leads to greatness. And the only way for the youth to understand that is to be caught up in the culture because someone's finally pouring into those lives. And the only way to pour into those lives is to have wealth as an issue out of the way. And I believe the greatest community to build that is basically ministry in the marketplace.